What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today. Today we have the November 2022 AeroClassics releases for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. Today I'm sure we have a great release in store. One release did get leaked for me, but outside of that, we are good to go. I'm really excited for this, and I hope you guys are as well. We should have a really good release in store here from AeroClassics. One particular model, like I said, that got leaked that is really good, but it's going to be interesting to see what else is in here. So I hope you guys are excited for it, and without any further delay, let's just jump into these November releases for AeroClassics. So like I said, should be a good one, and I'm very excited to see what we have going here. So of course we have the Easy Toys article ready to go here, and we'll start with the AeroClassics and Western 1 to 200 releases. So let's get started right here as we get this live release reaction going. Let's see what we have here from AeroClassics this month. We'll begin with the Northeast Citrus C46 November 4718 November. This is a good looking aircraft. Really like these C46s, and I think they're really unique aircraft. You know, C45, C46, C47, all those are really unique birds. This is a really cool northeast one, excuse me. This was a cool airline way back when, and this is going to be another fantastic addition for any retro collectors 1-200 collection. So that should be pretty good. I'm excited for that. That should be pretty awesome. Let's slow it down just a little bit. Very excited for the one model that did get leaked. Here's a KLM Philippine Hybrid Doubles DC-853. This is Papa India's Charlie 801, a pretty unique registration prefix there. Very unique livery. I'm not sure if this was some sort of joint deal or Philippines was taking over this aircraft once KLM had it, or possibly the other way around or something like that. But it's looking like it's a Philippine aircraft in this case. It's a very unique one to say the least, especially with the tail right there. To see both those emblems is really interesting to see them both together. But this is a very unique aircraft, and I'm sure this will be a hot seller for anybody that's looking for it over in Europe. So really cool aircraft, and I'm sure that'll be a really good one right there. So I'm glad to see that released, and that's really cool. Also in the Philippine region as well, I should say. Very nice release right there. Sorry, I was making sure my camera wasn't lagging again, because in the last release reaction it was bad. So just making sure we have all the logistics going, so it's a pleasant viewing experience for you guys. Here we go with the AeroClassics 1 to 400 arrivals. This is going to be very interesting. I'm excited for this, so let's just dive into it, boys. Okay, a TWA Lockheed L1011. I about said L188. Sorry, guys. This is a Dash 100 variant. This November 31030. Very excited to see a Twin Stripes L1011 done right here. I know that they did one previously. I think it was the Twin Globes that they did with this kind of interesting white outline, red stroke outline titles there. But this is a very interesting aircraft to see. I think this will be a very hot seller. The L1011 mold for AeroClassics is really nice, and I would really like to try it sometime. I got a Gemini one recently, and I was super impressed by that, and also the NG one's very cool too. But this is another fantastic release right here. Very popular seller, I'm sure, and I'm excited to see how that one does. So a great start to our release here in the 400 to go. Very nice. Okay, a PSA Lockheed L188 freighter this time. This is going to be Electra November 6016 Alpha. Dang, we are really hot this month. This is a cool aircraft. Really like the design on this one. The PSA livery, I didn't even know they had Electras, to be honest. Freighters, that is, especially. So this is really cool to get to see right here. I really like the detail that we have going on in this one, from the double PSAs there on the tail, and obviously on the nose, or close to the nose, on the front half of the aircraft here. To this, let me move my microphone, I can barely see some of these pictures, to the engines and everything. These are really cool aircraft, and I think that Electra mold for AeroClassic is pretty good. So I'm glad to get to see that right there, and that's another fantastic release right there from AeroClassics. You love to get to see that right there. Very nice release. Okay, another one. This is a National Airlines L188 freighter. This is November 5017 Kilo. Very nice. Now, I don't believe Gemini did the Western, or well, let me think. I'm trying to think of what airline they did. It might have been a National. I thought they may have done National too. This one I think is a different livery though. I'm glad to get to see this, and this is a very US oriented release today, which is very nice to get to see after some really big foreign releases. So this is another really cool aircraft for anybody's retro airport or just retro collection in general. These Electras have been going super hard as of late here for AeroClassics. I think they're doing a really good job on these, so you love to get to see it right there, and that's a fantastic looking aircraft right there for AeroClassic. Another really good one to say the least right there. You love to see it. Okay, here's a Marvel Cargo Illusion IL-18. I cannot talk today. Hotel Alpha, Mike, Oscar, India, Foxtrot. Good looking aircraft right here. I really like these. Pretty similar to the Electra design, which is pretty interesting. A little bit longer, I would say, and the engines look slightly different too. But this is a good looking aircraft right here. I'm sure this will be a pretty good seller over there in the region. I think this is a cool aircraft for sure. So very unique one at that, but I think this should be a pretty hot seller right there. So another fantastic release right there. AeroClassics doing a good job this month, although I think a little bit more variety would be quite helpful. Here's another one, and this one is going to be Mike Oscar India by itself, and this is not a cargo. This is a normal one, which is very cool to see. So nice pair right here, to say the least. I like the passenger. Well, they're pretty similar, to be honest, but the passenger one looks pretty good. I think this says like air cargo on it. This one doesn't have anything, so pretty similar aircraft to say the least. But I think these are looking really nice. So very good job right there, and I'm glad to get to see that. That's awesome. Okay, a Turkish THY doubles DC-932 Tango Charlie Juliet Alpha Bravo. This is a cool aircraft right here, very diverse right here. I think the DC-9 mold from AeroClassics is really cool. Although I don't have one yet, I think it turned out fantastic from this picture. It looks really nice, so this should be a pretty hot seller, and I think this is very helpful for any, even a little bit of European and African markets there for our retro collectors. Sorry about the low power mode there, or really anywhere that these flew, somewhere in that Turkey region. So glad to get to see that right there. That should be pretty awesome. And again, I'm not completely sure if they flew to Europe, Africa, Middle East, even farther than that into Asia, but somewhere in that market is why I say that. So that would be my thought, but again, I'm not an expert in those departments, so that's just my best guess, but probably in Turkey for sure. So good looking aircraft right there. That's awesome. SAS Scandinavian doubles DC-932 Oscar Yankee Kilo, Yankee Kilo Golf Whiskey. Some of these prefixes are pretty interesting. This is a good looking aircraft again. The SAS livery. There's one other, I think it was the a Singapore livery, just like that, that have not changed much over the years. Scandinavian liveries also remain pretty consistent over the years. This is another prime example of that. Really like the cheat line right there. Of course, every retro livery pretty much has a metal underbelly and then the top white on the fuselage and then a cheat line. This is no exception to that principle, but it looks really clean. I think this one turned out really well with the blue. So just a common theme on these DC-9s, and you're gonna find it about anywhere and everywhere. Here's another one. This one is Romeo Lima Sierra. This is actually a Lima November prefix. So this is probably operating in a different region would be my guess. I'm not sure what the difference here is. Not seeing too much of a difference with the livery. It looks pretty similar for the most part. So I'm assuming one operating in one country and the other operating in the other country. So that's pretty cool to get to see in these subsidiary, or not necessarily subsidiary, but different branches in different countries of these airlines. Is pretty cool with different registrations. So that's pretty cool to get to see, and yeah, really helpful if you're looking for one or the other. That's a really cool release. I like the FedEx ATRs. And there it is. Man, I knew that was coming. Ozark doubles DC-932 November 8, 9832. Man. JJ Skippy's going to be super happy about that one, and I most certainly am as well. Ozark was a huge airline in the United States from the 70s into the 80s. Huge presence at a variety of airports. This will be a model that I'll be getting as they flew to Tulsa for several years. Serviced to Joplin, Springfield, I think Kansas City and St. Louis possibly too, and Dallas as well. So this will be a very critical part of the Retro Tulsa project, and you most certainly will be finding this in updates in the 70s and the 80s. Yes, this model did get leaked for me, but man, that is super cool to get to see right there. We love to see it, and I absolutely love the livery on this one. The green line looks fantastic, and this will be a great model to add to the retro fleet. Really excited for this one. I think it's going to turn out really well. So I'm glad to get to see Ozark DC-9 done. That'll be really helpful and really fill the void there for Retro Tulsa. So I'm very excited for that, and that should be a fantastic model right there, man. Just surreal to get to see it. They did do this model about 4 years ago or so. I believe this one is a different livery though, so it will be very helpful to have some variation there. And like I said, this will be a critical part. You'll be finding this flying to various airports. And thank you, Andrew, for doing this. We very much appreciate it. Really, really helpful model right there. And here we have an Air Jamaica doubles DC-932, 6 Yankee Juliet Golf Alpha. Very nice right here. I love the livery on this one. We got the orange and the red that look fantastic. Really neat design right here as well. So I think this aircraft looks really good, and this is another great DC-9 compliment for anybody looking for Air Jamaica retro aircraft, or just in general any retro aircraft. This is a fantastic addition to the lineup. I think they did a really good job casting this one. And that's a really cool looking livery, so fantastic one right there. And definitely changing up the retro vibe. You don't usually see a double color on top like that and then white underbelly. That's really cool. There might actually be some gray down there, but nevertheless looks very cool. Okay, now I ran Airbus A320 Neo, Tango Sierra India November Alpha. Very interesting. Picture's not the best, but we do get a little bit of a grasp of what this aircraft is about, and that's exactly what we're looking for here. So I love the detail in this one. It's a very nice, simple model. I don't know why it's a Neo. It should be a 320 CEO because those look like CFM engines. I think that's probably a typo if I had to guess. I don't know if it's going to tell me here otherwise. Let's take a look just for the heck of it. No, it says it's a Neo, so maybe it is, but it looks more like a 320 CEO to me. But that's a very nice release right there, and I'm sure that'll be very popular in the region. So very nice to get to see a nice simple livery right there. What I love about AeroClassics molds is they're nice, proportional, and simple, and this is another prime example of that. So glad to get to see that right there. It's awesome. Okay, a KLM Airbus A330-300, very interesting. Papa Hotel Alpha Kilo Foxtrot. This is the first time the 330 mold's been used in a long time from AeroClassics. I don't think I've ever seen a release that I recall off the top of my head, like I did a reaction for or something, that encompassed this mold. So this is the first time this is getting used in a long time. This is probably actually going to be a pretty hot seller if I had to guess, because there's not been many KLM A330s done as of late. I know Gemini did a 200, and the mold's kind of where it is on that. This mold I think is pretty gosh darn good, very proportional, looks fantastic. So I don't believe NG's done this one either, so this should be a pretty hot sell, and I'm sure this will be a very nice addition to any KLM fleet, or just in general if you're looking for this to fly across the pond or something. Did not expect that one, but that's very cool to see the A330 mold back, and I'm sure it's going to be really helpful. So very glad to get to see that right there. That's awesome. Wow, an American A330-300 as well, making fun of NG, it looks like. I like it. Just kidding. But November 277 Alpha Yankee. This is going to be the final dividing line. I was this close to talking about this. This is going to be the final dividing line for me making that video of companies in the 400 scale continuing to copy each other. I don't know if this was necessarily copying, but it's very interesting to get to see this because NG literally just did this aircraft a couple months ago. So this is the final example that I need for that video, and I'm most certainly going to be doing it, particularly more with Aviation 400, JC Wings, and even NG a little bit. But particularly this is very interesting to get to see NG and AeroClassics overwinding right here. So really interested to get to see this. They did this probably 8 years ago at this point, 7 or 8 years ago. The livery was pretty new at the time, and now we have this one. So this is a very, very interesting release right here. Color is definitely interesting as well, but I was definitely not expecting that. So really interesting to get to see 330 mold come back with these two. I'm sure they're both going to be pretty popular. Now, the NG is probably going to be a little hotter than this one, but this will still be a nice one for anybody looking for it, and it's a pretty interesting aircraft to say the least right there. So that's looking fantastic. Do I have enough battery to finish out this video? I think I do, so we should be good. So yes, let's see what else we have going here. This has been a very interesting release. Okay, a China Southern Airbus A300 Bravo 2329. Very nice release right there. I'm sure that one will be pretty popular among the collectors over there in the Asia region. I think this is a good looking aircraft. Nice and simple, and it's nice. I would think these are retired, but I'm not completely sure on that. But I'm sure these are pretty popular aircraft over there, so that should be very helpful, and it's a nice variety, kind of like that American A330. Not too old, but also not new enough. So kind of like that, and that's a cool release right there. That should be a pretty good one. And with that, that is the AeroClassic November 2022 releases. Definitely some twists and turns, but ultimately one of the better releases I've seen in a long time. I've loved the variety out of this set. There's about something for everybody and some. Whether you're a modern US collector, a retro US collector, or a modern let's see here. Mainly retro stuff, of course, but especially retro US collectors. This is a field day release. Definitely going to be seeing me get that Ozark DC-9. The American A330 is very interesting, but probably not. I think my Gemini one's pretty good. I'm kind of tempted to get that NG one as well, but we'll make that decision at a later time. But this is a very cool set right here, and a really good one at that. So feel free to let me know. Oh, sorry guys, my computer's about to die. Let me let the frames even out. Sorry about that. I did not mean for it to lag out so bad. Okay, I think we're evened out now. Sorry about that, guys. But nevertheless, really, really cool release. I really like the variety that this one presents. Fantastic and really great for our retro collectors. Hopefully, they'll swing it back into the modern land soon. I don't know why my computer's lagging out still, guys. I apologize about that, but I'll just sit here and do some talking. So, fantastic release. Be sure to let me know which ones you guys are getting. A fantastic release right here. Super glad to get to see this. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and a really cool one at that. Again, fantastic release. Definitely go get some. But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is